Can you do wheelies?
I can, yeah.
Okay.
I would suggest not trying to do them because I've seen a lot of my friends and cousins loop out instantly.
Sure.
A few moments later.
You okay? Shit.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck, man.
Fuck. That's how easy it is to loop those things.
Yeah.
out.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're not bleeding on the back.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck, your arm's a little toasted. Ride careful. Moral of the story. Can't ever get too comfy on these bitches. But he's okay. Griffin's okay. Let's see. Let's see. Oh my God. Yeah, show the arm. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, check this out. You love electric vehicles. You've gone from e-scooters to e-bikes, and for some reason, you still kind of got that itch. I get it. Trust me. E-bikes are cool, but this is something different. Ladies and gentlemen, the Talaria Sting MX4. Let's get it!
I need a shot, no chase. My girl need a wine in the state. My mom need a house for the lake. So I got some money to make. They told me I got what it take. So I gotta take it all back. I told them I need my pay. I need my 50 for tax. I done ran low on my patience. Make sure my time isn't wasted. I told them all that I've been real. They know that I cannot face shit. Funny.
I gotta give a huge shout out to my boy Griffin at Riverside Motorsports who lent me this bike to review. When I wanted to look at an e-dirt bike and I did a quick search and realized that, lo and behold, St. Albert represent, baby. Riverside Motorsports is the distributor for the Talaria. So I reached out to them and said, hey, I want to review one of these bikes. Can you hook me up with one to test it out? My man Griffin in the flesh. He hasn't murdered me yet. What's up, my man? Found it? Good. You?
Good.
So what is your role at Riverside and what are we doing here today?
So I'm the marketing specialist now at Riverside Motorsports. I've been there for a long time. My grandpa actually started it back in '67. And today we're going to be testing out some new Talaria MX4s, and I'm getting excited to show RJ what it's all about.
So he started, he's like, come out, meet me. I'm gonna send you a pin drop. Legit, the first pin drop didn't even work. That's how out in the boonies, in the middle of nowhere on private property we were. Sends me another pin drop. He's like, listen, I gotta take you the back way. The front gate is locked right now. We're gonna be on private property. Come meet me, I'll be on my bike, you'll see me. So he takes me winding down the back road. I'm wondering if Griffin's gonna murder me. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not even sure if this guy is legit or not. But I'm like, you know what? I reached him at Riverside, so he's gotta be an actual staff there. He's probably not gonna murder me. I should be okay. I continue to follow him down the dirt path. And then there's this, a full-on track that he's got set up on private property for us to test out 2 of the MX4s. I'm gonna be riding this thing all week and I'm gonna let you know how it goes. You're coming with me. Peace! Let's get some specs out of the way. The Talaria MX4 has 30% more peak power than the last version. It's the most powerful e-dirt bike in its category. It's got 120 kilometer range at 25 kilometers per hour, but ain't nobody riding this beast at 25 kilometers per hour. You touch the throttle, you're at 50 kilometers per hour, and you don't hear the roar of the engine. You hear more of a whir of an engine, more of like a whiz of the motor, and I fucking love that sound. It's actually quite dope. 84 kilometer per hour top speed. This thing is fast, and the torque off the line will get you there very fast. It's got a 45 amp hour battery, 3-hour charge time. I'm used to scooters and e-bikes that take quite a bit longer to charge, usually after my one ride. Whereas with this thing, it is nice to know that I have, in just an hour and a half, you can get almost full charge right back. So 3 hours full charge, super handy with a beast like this. let's get to the pros of this vehicle. I cannot walk by this bike without riding it. It's just the excitement of the power of this motor. Having that torque off the line, knowing that I could flip myself and a little bit of that danger involved, and of course, speed is just really exciting to have sitting there in the garage, that I could not walk past it without jumping on it and going for a rip. For this type of bike, it's nice to have the key. Because I do want to take it to the store, I do want to take it to the office, it's not really like a bike where you're afraid that someone's going to walk away with it. It does feel more like a motorbike in that sense, where people might look at it, do a double take, like, what is that thing? But it's big enough and beefy enough that they can't just pick it up and walk away with it. I also like the safety procedures that it takes to start this bike up. You have to put the key in, the little dial will give you a notification that the key is in, but before it's ready to start, you have to actually push the red start button. It's a good safety procedure to know that there is a sequence of events that have to actually turn the bike on before the throttle works. Also, because you have that speed and power, you feel safe and capable in the streets riding with traffic. Now, you have to be careful again because this is a gray area. I did drive past a couple of cops and a couple of peace officers. Don't give the cops a reason to pull you over. I mean, I was riding nicely on the side of the road at a reasonable speed, just in a bike helmet, so I think I was a little inconspicuous because it doesn't look like I'm a full-fledged motorbike, but I was able to drive past cops and peace officers without a problem. And 70 kilometers per hour on this thing feels very comfortable and natural. This feels like it's meant to ride at that speed. Now, I have been at 80 kilometers per hour with a little bit of crosswind, and because of how light the bike is compared to a motorbike, that I wouldn't want to be doing, 120 kilometers per hour on this size bike on a highway or something like that. I don't necessarily feel like the frame and design of these e-bikes or some of the smaller e-mountain bikes, for example, are designed to go that fast or to handle that kind of power and pressure. So really, if you want to be going that fast, you should be getting a bike that's meant to go that fast. But I think in this particular case, there are controllers and battery upgrades that you can get to give it a little bit more speed and juice, which would be okay. Another thing that I love about the Sting R that is different from the Triple X, for example, is that the battery is very easy to take out. You basically take your key, pop it into here, this part pops up, you unhook the battery, you turn off the fuse, you pop the battery out, Bob's your uncle. Because typically on an e-bike, the battery is one of the heaviest parts of the bike. This bike is no exception. The battery weighs 40 pounds. It is a little bit of weight to carry, but I mean, I'm ripped. So I'm jacked, bro. No, I'm not at all. But with a little bit of practice, it's been no problem at all to get it on and off of the hitch by myself. That's a huge plus. You don't need somebody there to help you. Okay, now let's get to some of the cons of this bike. There aren't too many, but because it is a fucking ninja, it really is that gray area. So right now, I don't know, this is kind of a pro and a con at the same time, being in this gray area of sitting in between an e-bike and a motorbike. So I think there is gonna be a really wide range of results when buying and riding these things, also depending on where you're riding them. You don't wanna be disruptive to people on bike paths. You wanna be kind and respectful, and I want to make sure that people don't feel offended in any sort of way by me having this on a bike path. And I also want to be able to be comfortable riding it on a bike path. Sort of tied to that con of being in the gray area of riding in the streets, this particular model of the MX4 doesn't have any signals on it. It's good to know that when you are riding on the street, that if I had signals on this thing, it's just one extra level of safety and precaution where other vehicles know that you're there and they know that you're turning left into traffic. So the more defensive driving you can have, the more safer you can be with signals and gear and stuff like that, the better. And this bike does not have signals. That is also another con about this bike is you do need full gear. Always, always, always wear your protective riding gear, as much of it as possible. There is no question about it that this bike is a beast, and compared to my Super 73 e-bike that goes 50 kilometers per hour, I feel a lot safer just in a bike helmet and having my kids on that Super 73. That's kind of a con with this thing. There is a little bit more money you gotta spend up front, not only maybe for the bike's price point, but also for some of the accessories and the riding gear that come along with that. Be safe, people. Another con, as I was taking this on trails and small bumps and jumps and stuff like that, you do notice the battery clinking around. I did find that a little bit annoying that, you know, you've got this rickety battery sort of shaking around in there. While you're doing that single track riding, last thing you want is to hear clinking and your battery shaking around. So I feel like that's a little bit of a miss from Talaria. Another thing with the Bike Ninja that is, again, a little bit of a con, but also a little bit of a pro, is the horn is really, really loud, even louder than Super 73 horn. You know what I mean? Like my ears are ringing from that horn. It's too loud, it scares the shit out of people, it's obnoxious. You should put a bike bell on your bike so that you can let people know who are ahead of you kindly and quietly that you're coming up behind them. So that's a con if you're riding it slower, kind of on bike paths. Now, if the other side of that coin is if you're in the street, you want a loud fucking horn. It's good to know that when I'm in the street riding this vehicle that I have that horn in case I need to use it for my safety. So a definite pro for the street, a serious con for bike paths.
Cause you know I get down, baby. She wanna ride with me. She wanna ride with me. She wanna ride with me. Cause you know I get down, baby.
So that's it. That's my review of the Talaria Sting MX4. I absolutely fucking love this bike. Thank you again so much to Riverside Motorsports for loaning me this thing. I'm 100% gonna buy it. So absolutely, if you're thinking about buying this bike, in terms of the price point, 100% worth it. Some people might think that 6,000 Canadian is too much, but you go into any store, you can buy a $20,000 mountain e-bike, never mind something like this that's got the beefiness and torque of this kind of a vehicle. Is this bike worth it? 1,000%. So if you're riding e-bikes and e-scooters and you're sort of thinking of dipping your foot into the Surons or the Talarias, man, you are not going to regret it. Thank you to Griffin and the whole crew out at Riverside Motorsports. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This review was a perspective from me, who is an electric vehicle lover and connoisseur, who has also ridden motorbikes all my life. So this falls into a really unique category for me. I wasn't sure how I was going to enjoy it, but man, do I fucking enjoy it.
She wanna ride with me. She wanna ride with me.
I appreciate each and every one of you so much. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you go out and buy a Talaria yourself, baby. Let's get it!
She wanna ride with me.